Amazing. So yeah, you need a Russian or something like this. So how is it work? We have a beginner's training where everything is technical. That's elementary level. We need to teach how the thing is done. Then, when they improve, we need to teach a little bit about the tactical. Don't spend too much time in the hard questions. Sit down correctly, all that stuff. And then, on the advanced, we have all four developed. Technical, tactical, physical, and mental. The problem is, one will have to be more developed. The one that changed the most is the mental part, especially for the elite. They have to deliver under pressure, when everybody's looking. They have to know the answer on the start, right there. When we say, good luck, open up your test. So, what is that we do? To teach the physical part, we need to understand supercompensation, how much they can take and keep delivering better results. If we just do the same, nothing's going to happen. If we do too much, they probably will be able to go up at the end. But what if the test is here? If we just overload it, it's not going to go anywhere. If we do it perfectly according to them, they will keep going up. So that's on the physical part. On the technical part, it's all about numbers. Can they deliver? Take a look at this. This is a guy playing golf. This is the pro. He has better results with the movement of his thorax and his pelvis. The other guy has more different movements. The key here is, as you can see, it's not a perfect line. It's not a beautiful roll curve. It's self-correction until the thing gets to perfect. Not actually perfect. It gets closer to. That's what it is technical. Then, the tactical. Everybody's great at something, but also weak at something. We have to balance those two. And finally, it's beginning to understand that the emotional part and the senses, the information that we get from our senses work together. Once we do all those four, we get the perfect practice. And the perfect practice is not about repeating. A figure skater that goes into the ice and do 200 jumps and fall in 198 of them is learning to fall. That's the hard part. When I was doing this investigation, my kids are learning all the time. They think they don't, because we keep telling them we want you to learn academic stuff. But they're learning how to deal with you and with them, and they change from here. They know. They are masters of it. Some of them like the academical stuff, so they go for it. Others, I'm learning what to do. All the time, the key is what are they learning? This poor guy, he went to the Olympics with a background kind of shaking. Right in the middle of the jump, he opens up this 2 weeks ago. It's the worst fault that I've seen at Olympic level for a long, long time. He will not be able to compete at Olympics because there is a problem. On your mental competition, what happens on certain environment stays in your mind forever. Failing at the Olympics, the only way you can recover that is by doing it better than the Olympics. That means you have to wait 4 years and prepare yourself for it. So some kids are fantastic at taking the CAs or all the tests we do in the classroom or doing this and that, and all the time they go back to the stars and they go, oh, it's a star again. I will not be able to pass it. And they compete themselves. So, how do we handle all those four elements every single day? Now, how do we make that work? What is the key? This is the most advanced sport I have ever seen. Formula 1.
Telemetry systems on a Formula car are an extremely important part of technology. Although they've become much more controlled and constrained over the last few years, because 10 years ago, we were getting all the information from the car coming back to us in bits. We were looking at the chassis, the engine, even how the driver was driving the car. And then we were making changes on the car. We were sending messages to the car to adjust it to get the best from the performance. Emphasizing the skills of the drivers. So we've changed telemetry systems now, and all the team can do is observe what's happening, and sometimes advise the driver what's happening so he can make some changes himself, but they have to be implemented by the driver.
In a typical race, I might shift about 3,100 times. So you can imagine that all I'm doing all the time is like shifting. And at the same time, I need to change the brake balance, switch on the curves, the wheel wing, the differential. So there's a lot going on in the cockpit.
There's hundreds of channels that we look at. We have a whole fleet of engineers at the back of the garage studying their screens to make sure everything is performing
did the last time, because 5 years ago when you did that, you lose. That's what's going on all the time. How these people are able to do? They get data. They know those races to the minimum, to the corner, I mean, to the centimeter. All that information right now is so much that they cannot process it. But they need that information because that's reality. So, when we go to our kids, know them at that level. What is actually that kid doing every time? As teachers, we have to be sure. My God, these guys are messing. Now, let's make it work in the school. How can we apply this in education? Please review activity 4. We read it for you. If every teacher in the school do their best in the classroom, the school will do better. Do you believe in that? Maybe a little, maybe a lot. I don't know. Remember, there is no wrong or right. I'm not going to be looking at any. Take that moment. Got my own surprises. Now, let's move on. Can we actually stay quiet? These are my kids. Some of these teachers here know them. It's really hard to get this to happen. They're working quietly for 45 minutes. I've been walking around drinking coffee. They're actually looking at the computer, not at me. They're actually doing the procedure. Why? They do it because they want to do it. That's it. If they are able to do something, it's because they want to do it. If they want to make my life miserable, they have every single resource in the planet to make it so. So how do we get them to do that? We can do things. We can teach them, or we cannot. But we have to teach them that it's the best for them to get to the point of doing what is required. So, say, think quietly is hard. It's hard to learn. But we have a solution now. It's called dopamine. Let's take a look how the dopamine works in the brain.
Hey guys, today was my first day using Adderall. You can actually see the prescription bottle right there. So today was the first day I've ever taken them in my entire life. I got them in December from my doctor and taking them now for school. So I worked today. I started work at 8 in the morning. I took the pills at about 7:50, and it really kicked in at about 8:30. And literally, it was the weirdest experience of my life. One of my coworkers said that I was going through different stages, and the first one was that I was really hyper and energetic. The next one was I was emotional, and I actually started crying at work. I cried to my manager just because, like, I told her, I was like, this is the weirdest feeling. Like, I don't know. It's like I couldn't control my body, but at the same time I could. I don't know. After that was the zombie state, where I felt like I couldn't even move. I just felt, I don't know. And I had to sit down and, like, I don't know. Okay. And then the last one, which I'm in right now, is the kind of like chill. I just feel like doing nothing.
Okay, so what is it that actually does? I'm not here to talk about ADD or ADHD, this real or not. I'm here to tell you how it works. When you take those pills, what they do is they overload the brain with processes and information. Some of that false, some of that real. It's so much information that the brain has to slow down to walk. The most difficult part of the body processes in the brain is movement. So we overload it. Same that they do with the give anesthesia. Anesthesia doesn't stop the brain from registering your pain. What it does is overload the brain with so much information that you cannot differentiate between pain and nothing. This is the same. Now, after a while, if she keep taking it, she will just get into the zombie stage, behave well, do their work, and all that stuff. But the problem is it creates dependency. 43% of Americans right now use some kind of dopamine control substance to handle stress. So, some people use yoga, some people use. This is what happens. So, when you get a kid that behaves that well, and you see that it's going through this process, please understand how the brain is actually working. Next step, part 5, the question about knowledge, motivation are important. Both are, maybe not those, one of those. We're doing okay? Got any questions? Just raise your hand. We are doing good on time. Okay, let's go. Academic learning is fine because it's pointless. And listen to me, please. It's pointless to a kid that is a year old to learn how to do that kind of stuff. Why should I? I'm happy with eating and playing. Why do I need to learn to read this stuff? I'm okay, being home, watching TV. It's happy. So it's hard. Easy is when you know. So we look at that test, so this is so easy. How can you? It's not easy. It takes an effort. So when we look at something that is actually hard, we get to the whole process and begin to understand joy, the achievement of a goal, then the kid will begin to understand, oh, okay, well, my psychological reality is not reality. I am not outside. This is me. This is the outside. The outside has rules that I cannot control. It's pretty good for me to know how to control those rules, at least understand them. Then you begin to change. That change has some technical difficulties. What can I do? I got all my kids sitting down, they're looking at me, they're ready to go, so deliver. Strong foundation. There's nothing you can do. 5th graders, play 4th graders, 4th graders, and 3rd graders, 3rd graders, play the 2nd graders playing the first, and then kinder plays fun. And in college, they blame the senior, the school, the this, they're all putting blames into each other. This is the key. Foundation. Because with a strong foundation, everything changes. Now, teamwork. This is from game theory. One of my backgrounds is in international relationships and diplomacy, so I have to study power struggles between different financial systems. This is the prisoner's dilemma. I'm working with somebody else. They can do something and go out free, or I collaborate with them and we both pay the penalty. Even if you are the best that there is, if your methods are not together with the ones next to you, around you, whatever you do will go in contradiction to the best of the whole system. This is what prisoner's dilemma means. And this happens in economy, it happens in real life. The best solution for you is not the best solution for the system. The system itself collapses because your best solution contradicts the best solution of somebody else. Even though we can really believe in, I'm doing my best here, let's take a look what's going on behind me and what's going on in front of me. We don't have to go through this. Next, my God, we are patching these kids all the time. I know that everybody talks about the tips and how wonderful they are and the whole framework and everything, but I'm teaching kindergarten, teaching 5th grade, and I'm absolutely certain that senior guys are teaching 5th grade math in senior all the time. Why? Because our precision teaching is not congruent. It doesn't come together. Things that they listen on one level does not apply at the other level, even though they should be able to be applied. Remember when we talk about fractals? They're basic rules. Those foundational ideas that need to be there are not there. So he just keeps solving one problem. He goes from one teacher to solve it one way to another teacher solving the other way to another teacher solving the other way. Now, this one is also important, authentic work. When I walk through the hallway, I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 papers. Okay, what happened to the other 10 kids in the classroom? They didn't finish. It looks ugly. Couldn't write it down. So that's what it is. Put it up. It works. It's work. We don't want to make him feel shame. No, it's not shame. It's just up to there. It's my heartbeat. It's not, Mr. Ramirez, you're not able to do the triple axel because your heart is. He's not going to, oh, Mr. Ramirez. No, he's not going to get hit. Your heartbeat is too high. You're not going to be able to do it. It's the truth. We can tell a better ways. No, I'm not going to do that. Be careful with this, please. Mongering approach. The one solution for everything. We have tons of reasons. Research-based books and coming and knowing, and we got all these programs and all that. I'm not saying they're not good for you. I'm saying do them, and if they don't work, let them go. If they work, keep them. Look why, found why, use them. If they don't, let it go. It's okay. We have to change sometimes. The tactical part, this is the part that I almost got kicked out of one of the conferences. They asked me about the start and say, okay, this is how it's built. Let's take a look how it's built. Teaching is not a linear thing. Some people say, oh, it's like this, no, it's like that, no, it's like that. No, this is teaching. Teaching is droplets of water. Bunch of knowledge that interconnect. Sometimes we teach more of one, sometimes we teach more of the other one. They are not linear in nature. It's organic. It intersects. Take a look at this problem. Basic calculation, over cars, problem solving, it's part of fraction, it's part of decimal, it's part of geometry. All that is kind of messed up all together. If we don't look at knowledge that way, we are teaching procedures based on beliefs that may and may not work with some kids. Now, these are the real numbers. This is the start. If we know nothing, I get myself into a Chinese test. I don't speak Chinese, I sit, and I'm going to take it. It's 4 choices, I'm going to get 25%. I have no clue. It's Chinese. B, D, C, D, D, yeah, this one is better. I get 25. If I know 25%, only 25%, I get my 25% right. But I get also 25% by probability from the questions that I have no clue. Even if I only know 50%, I can pass. Take a look. Plain luck. How about the test? I got my 50%. In the other 50%, 1 out of 4. And if I teach a little, it will be 1 out of 2. So the probability of the test allows a kid that knows nothing to pass. So when you look at the results on the test, think how he got there, know what he got. The numbers, really look at them. Because sometimes the kids know everything and he just, when he looked at the answer document, he put it on B, or he put in the wrong number. He knows, he just made a mistake. But we have to reteach that poor kid something that you should know the one he knows. 1 plus 1 is 2. I proved it. Now, this is the real problem. Information can be positive and negative. Negative information are lies. You tell the kid 1 plus 1 is 3. He learned it. He mastered it. Then goes to another level. That doesn't work. The more wrong information he gets, the less possible he's going to get the test. That's those kids who get you 15-20% on a multiple choice test. If they go below the minimum of probability, they know something and it's wrong. Next, how it's built. The test is built this way. We got 3 openings, words, what, when, and how, and we got 4 words that comes with it. Is, show, can, and have. Everything is like that. Every single question on the start is designed the same way. It may say show, it maybe say describe, but it's the same thing. It's pointing towards something. Then, those questions I divide by identity, what something is, compare and contrast, 2 things together, problem solving, how we're going to put all this together, find an answer. That's evenly distributed to the test. Then, do they need the choices? Most of the time, they don't even need the ABCD. Some of the time, they need calculations. Some of the time, they don't know. So all those factors, when we look at the test, we can begin to realize, oh, this is how it is structured. So the test, the start, has a very specific structure. It's been developed. They are looking